Who is Lauren beyond the classroom?
She's a wife, and she's soon a soon-to-be mother. One day.
Welcome to the Crown That Befits You, the podcast for kingdom minded visionaries. Here we talk faith, purpose, and the journey to success. From entrepreneurs to overcomers, we unpack what it takes to walk boldly in your God given calling. Your crown is waiting for you. Let's walk in it together. Who is Lauren beyond the classroom?
She's a wife. She's also, or I am also a creative. I like doing TikToks, creative videos, like makeup videos. I'm a hairstylist. I'm an entrepreneur, CEO, mobile salon. With my husband, you, of course. And then she's a soon-to-be mother. One day. So not today, not like I'm not pregnant, but one day.
What made you choose teaching? Was it always the plan?
I don't think I chose teaching. I think teaching chose me. Growing up, I was always a little bit of a oddball. My friends were always younger than me, but in a way that like I was like a role model in a way. Like I had 4-year, 5-year gaps with my friends. I would call them friends, I guess. Um, and in a way like I was a mentor, but also I just have this very like I'm not childish, but childlike spirit in me. Um, so even the job where I'm working now, when I got my first ever interview, it was a thing of them saying, teaching is not my job, it's my calling. And that has stuck with me since that day. So I would like to believe I've always wanted to be a teacher when I grew up. I've always said I wanted to be a teacher. Teaching, there has been other things like maybe this, but I've added it to my skill set rather than full on career like digital marketing or editing and stuff like that. So yeah, it chose me.
Was there a specific moment where you said this, like, was it like, is the calling that, how do I say, like, was there a specific moment when you knew teaching was your calling? Like, was it from a God given dream?
It was just a feeling. Like I just felt like I feel like I was just led to it. I don't really have a specific moment. I just knew after high school I'm gonna be a teacher. It's just I was just called to it. I didn't have a dream. I didn't have a specific thing. And it's actually the most unbelievable thing because I was very shy growing up. I did not expect myself to be in front of a classroom with 30 or 20 children looking at me the whole day. So grew up very shy. I was the shyest kid, never spoke, and it just happened to work out this way. God's plan.
God's plan. So, okay, so you say you were shy, all right?
Yes.
So then what gave you that moment to when you stepped up to be a teacher, to, teach like our future leaders, presidents, doctors, they all have a calling as well. This was for the future. But when you stepped in the classroom, what gave you that switch to say, listen, let me step out of my shell and step into what I'm meant to be?
I don't think that it came when I stepped into the classroom. It came before I was a teaching. I was a teacher. Before I was a teacher, I was a receptionist at a place where I had to like break out of my shell and speak up. And also having the right people in your life, you, having people encourage and help you grow in the aspect because I was very reserved, very shy still before I became a teacher, but also I worked as a student teacher before as I was a official qualified teacher. And that also those experiences and seeing other teachers, those things helped me to build and prepare myself when I am the teacher in the class. It was so scary the first day. I was shaking my first day this year. It is scary because there's a bunch of eyeballs looking at you and you now have to make an impression and that impression lasts for the rest of the year. um So yeah, but like it was the having the right people, and then also having um that experience of being a receptionist in an environment that was a bit like hectic, like you had to stand up for yourself. And yeah.
So in that moment, you were bold. You became bold, and you stepped up,
On my first day, or
like
when
and just in general, like in terms of your teaching.
like I said, I think it's a bunch of moments that led up to it. It wasn't one moment. It was a bunch of small moments that led up to it.
Okay, now we're gonna go into the heart of a teacher. Okay, what do students teach you that textbooks can't?
Patience. Textbooks don't teach you patience. Um, you have to be really patient as a teacher. You have to be willing to explain yourself a million times, and then after that million times, five more millions after that. It's you have to be patient. You have to really teaching is not a job that you can pursue if you do not have a passion for it. If you're there for the salary, if you are there for being the cool teacher, if you're there for it's the wrong reason. If you do not have a passion for it, if you do not have the heart to want to help and grow children, regardless of anything else, regardless of the admin, management, anything, if you don't have the heart for it, then it's not a job for you. So that is something that they don't teach you when you study for being a teacher. And it comes with a lot of challenges, of course. So yeah.
So, do you think there's a lot of teachers in our education system that just do it for the salary and not necessarily for the passion?
Um there will always be, I think in every job there's people that do it for the salary rather than the passion. Um I think yeah, they are. Obviously I think nowadays younger teachers are more full of passion. Obviously, there's debates about younger teachers, learners thinking you're their friend and stuff like that. But then older teachers, they lack also connection with the younger learners, with the learners, which younger teachers have with the learners. So I think, yeah, but I think that's in every profession that there's always someone or there's always people that are rather there for the salary or just like to get through the math. Um, that don't know what else to do with the qualification because teaching qualification is a bit limited sometimes. Of course, you can au pair, you can tutor, but this sometimes people struggle to transition out of teaching, so they just stay in teaching.
Okay. Um, that's interesting. Well, okay, I'm learning something. Learning something. Um, then how do you stay emotionally connected to your purpose, especially during tough seasons? I know you said teaching teaches you a lot of patience. So, like, can you give us a breakdown on that?
Have a loving husband. I'm not just saying this because you're my husband, but having the right support, of course, but also having experienced teachers there that are also there to help me. There's been many days where I go to school in tears, I leave school in tears. There's tears everywhere, but I have the right support at school, and I also have the right support at home, and also just reminding like God planned this for me. He wouldn't have given me this challenge. He wouldn't have given me this job if it was not meant for me, if I was not capable, if I didn't have the skill set. So it's just sometimes going back to like younger Lauren and seeing like, okay, you wanted to be a teacher, and this is where you are now. You are the teacher. You are in charge of this classroom. So it's just also is sometimes just like looking at the bigger picture, taking a step back and seeing, okay, this is what I wanted. This is what I prayed for. And just getting like that wake up call.
Well, so now, okay, I have a question for that. If you could have younger Lauren or a new student teacher, like you can take under your wing, what would you teach that person that you know the mistakes you've made before? What would you teach that person like that they can use for their career as a teacher?
Hmm. Well, that your first years will always be the hardest, and for not that it's in like a discouraging way. Um, obviously the first year is going to be full of challenges. But normally what I like, because we have some student teachers sometimes where I work, um, and I just try to like have them know that what you learn when you're there as a student teacher, it tops everything you learn from your university, because university, as much as you have practicals, it doesn't give you practicals. Yeah, the practicals help you, but I had the privilege of working while studying for 3 of my 4 years, as a student teacher, and that's what prepared me the most. So being hands-on in the class, like, I'm not saying you must take the lessons if you are just there as a student teacher, because sometimes student teachers, they do feel like they're being misused by like teachers, because they're there for practicals to learn, and then they use them for copies and go make this, go do this, but like they don't get hands-on experience in the class,
Mm,
or they have them take too many lessons, then the teacher's just chilling like in the classroom doing nothing,
mm,
you know. So but like just being hands-on in the class, but in a way that you learn from it, not in a way that benefits the teacher, but in a way that benefits you as the student teacher. um but also, yeah, having boundaries, I would say sometimes they do tend
mm.
to, yeah. But yeah,
Okay. So then, what role do you think teachers play in shaping society?
we grow, we plant seeds and we grow them from foundation phase, intermediate phase to high school. High school, obviously they trim the flowers, the flowers are not ready to be given, but the foundation phase, creche, they plant the seeds, we grow the seeds, we trim them. We are pouring out our water and our cups into them every day from ours to have them grow. We shape the future, the doctors and the lawyers and the influencers and the YouTubers, streamers, dancers, whatever you want to do. I'm sure there's been a teacher in your life that made you want to either pursue your career. I, even if it's in the bad way, I had a teacher that said something negative that made me want to pursue what I wanted to do even more. So there's always someone there that makes you want to, even those who don't believe you, those who, they were people that told me I'm too shy or I'm too soft, even close people that, you know. So yeah, I feel like teachers play an important role because yeah, they they plant the seed
So I
and
have
we
a
grow
question,
it.
right?
Yes.
I've always wanted to ask this question,
Yeah.
especially to a teacher.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
Mm.
But I'm a student. I had the honor and the privilege of, let's say you're my teacher. You taught me who, how to be a better person. You gave me the skills to equip myself for the real world.
Mm.
But why do you think the education system doesn't necessarily teach us all the skills that we actually need in our adult life?
I think they try to. I think they can give you as many skills as possible, but they can't give you all your skills. Other skills you have to learn through university or through your own creative freedom. They give you the basics, they give you languages, they give you maths, whether it's mathlets. I think there's technical
But I
math.
can't use the square root of
Exactly. So
pi.
that's why when it comes to you to choose the right one that you know will line up with your career, if you know that you're going to be a YouTuber or a streamer, you don't need pure maths. So don't choose pure maths. Don't choose biology if you're going to be a dancer, or, just it's the subjects that you choose. Okay, this is more high school related. In my phase, we can literally just give you the basics, and then you choose what to do with it when you go into high school and you have to start choosing subjects. They can't give you every skill. There are schools, but then I think maybe there should be schools that like add more. I know most schools have like hospitality, which teaches you
Mm,
cooking, but I feel like instead of having it as a subject that some people only like a subject you can choose like an elective, I feel like everyone should have it, because I mean all of us are gonna be either husbands or wives at some point and gonna need
mm,
to be cooking. It shouldn't be, but there should be like maybe two levels, like one for those chefs who want to be like in culinary school or
mm.
like that area, and then the ones who want to just like we know how to make like lasagna at home. So maybe there could be some like expansion in those areas,
Yeah.
for specific skill sets. But I think they try to equip you with the most, like the basics that you need to survive in South Africa.
Great. So do you think the current education, like the current curriculum in South Africa, is like the current curriculum in South Africa gives is the right system to perhaps, like, for example, if I want to be a chef, so the current, do I then, you, it is, how do I rephrase the question? That, yeah, do you think the current education system in South Africa is good enough to equip someone who perhaps wants to be a dancer? Like, do I have the right subjects, like, to go through primary school and high school and take those subjects? Do I need those subjects to now become a dancer?
So I think if you know you're going to be a creative, and creative being music, arts, dance, you take those subjects in school. When I was in high school, we I wanted to do music, so I took music lessons privately, but also in school as a subject, right? So I think the schools do, but it also depends on which schools you are. Not all schools are the same. Um, not all schools are the same. So I think, but most schools they can cater for whatever you want to be. I don't can't really think on the top of my head of a career that can't be catered for. Obviously, like I said, influencing that requires, but I feel like that's part of English. Creative writing, I feel like that's influencing. I mean, the stories you write, the stories you speak, I feel like that correlates with each other somehow. So I think there's a subject some out there like this business management, economics, tourism, geography. Those things can help you in the real life still today. So I think all of most subjects can cover the careers that you want to pursue.
Okay. Now, what's the mindset you walk into the classroom with? Like, what's the mindset you walk into the classroom with each day?
Well, um, that's a difficult one because obviously we have off days. Most of the times I try to be positive. I try to be happy and cheerful. Um, Normally I just it's gonna sound bad, but I just want to survive the day. Like I said, it's my first year. I'm in survival mode. I'm not in the comfortable mode yet where I can just
Mm,
chill and like it's panic, it's stressful, but not in a bad way. Like
mm,
I enjoy what I do, but every day is just more like I need to, but I still enjoy it, but I need to survive this day. I need to get through this. I have a full schedule. I have a
mm-hmm,
full day of teaching. I have one free, and I need to get through this day. I need to plan. Like it's more of a like strategy. Like what am I doing first? What needs to be printed? What needs to be done? Um, so that's more or less what I go through. Like go to how I go to school every day. Um, yeah.
and what are your go-to methods or systems that help you connect with students and impact students?
I won't lie, I bribe them with sweets. No, okay, I don't bribe them with sweets. I have a sweet system. I have a system called Happy Mail. So this helps me with classroom management because if you get a Happy Mail, the Happy Mail has a little sweet attached to it, right? So it's for different things like classroom behavior, and then I do it once a week. It's like a little ceremony. So if your behavior was well, then you get a happy mail. And then if you get enough happy mail by the end of the year, you get a chocolate of your choice, any staff chocolate of your choice.
Mm,
That helps in the classroom management. I also have a thing called sweet ceremony. So this is for, like I said, sweets play a big role in my class because it's kids. It's sweets. They love sweets,
mm-hmm.
but like in a rewarding way, not in a bribe way. Like I'm not bribing them. um, I also have, like I said, sweet ceremony. So this is for the top five. Like we have assessments. I write quite a lot of assessments. So they top. I have a top five, and then the most improved. So I make a little video with like a song, and then normally they dance to it, clap it to it, and then like their picture gets displayed for like top five, like number five, number four, number three, and then they also get like lollipops and sweets. This helps also like what's the word, encourage like studying for these
Mm,
assessments, and like it makes them want to work hard to like get onto the top five, or at least to get onto the most improved, because most improved
mm-hmm,
is not just for it's like for like I got 10% higher than last time, so then you also get rewarded. So it's not just the top ones, because it might just be the same the whole time if it's just the top five. So yeah, that's the systems I have in class. But yeah, I'm also trying to keep my lessons interactive. I like interactive teaching, having the kids
Mm.
interact with me, having like maybe games or stuff on my smart board that helps with that. So yeah, sorry.
So, if you were to advise another teacher, or I can say you as a teacher,
Hmm.
do you think that students um, res- perform better and respond better to things like, sweet ceremony or a reward system compared to not recognizing them and not giving them any reward?
I think they do, but like I think also that every teacher has their own method. Every teacher has their own way. There are teachers that teach like properly fine without
Mm.
having to give sweets. I think it's just it helps me because I'm also like I love sweets. So if I was in school and there was a sweet reward, I would work hard for that sweet. So just because I is the type of person I am, and it's also most children nowadays love candies. So, but I think it depends. It's different for every teacher, different classrooms. They might some teachers have different incentive, like they have little fidgets like
Mm.
or slimes or different like you get time to play with the fidgets or the slime or whatever. You can go to the busy corner and keep yourself busy. There's different incentives that you can give them. Or you don't have to give any at all. It depends on how you teach and how you manage your classroom. Obviously, we get our stricter teachers. They don't have to give us sweets. You just listen. Unfortunately, I am not one of them. I am the soft teacher, the sweethearts that just tries to give my all to them. So yeah.
Okay. Do you think teachers could strive better to understand kids better, like their feelings, not necessarily be their friend, but in order to get the best out of their students, know their strengths and weaknesses individually, or they just not have a connection with them?
I think it's always better to have a connection in general with anyone in life, even. But especially yeah, in teaching, it does help to have a connection. But yeah, like it's careful. You have to be careful to not cross that line of like, I'm not your friend. I'm just trying to be there for you from a mentor aspect because these kids are going through a lot and they have a lot of emotions and feelings that they feel, and school can be tough. So it is good to have a connection, but you just also still establish that thing of I am not your friend, but I'm here for you. If, as some of them like referred like some of them have started calling me mom, which is fine. But like still have that boundary. Like I am here for you. I obviously love all of them so much. Um, but yeah, I still just have that thing of I'm here for you as a, maybe then a parental figure, but not
Hmm.
like your friend. Just set that boundary. But it does help to have a
Mm.
connection.
Okay, sure. And then you having to teach a lot of children, because not, let me not speak about parents, but like not some, all children come from different households. So with all that, having to deal with different personalities and, teachers, dealing with teachers, parents, how do you manage burnout, especially in such a emotionally demanding job?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Oh, wow.
I it's my comfort snack. It helps me. I don't know how ice cream and anything cold like a slushy. It can lift my mood immediately. That's how I deal with burnout. Since burnout is heat, I deal with heat by
Oh, my
giving it
goodness.
giving it cold. No, but like honestly, it's a you just need a good cry. Honestly, just cry it out, and it will get better. It's gonna be tough. You can't guarantee anything like in that aspect. Like you can't guarantee how um it's gonna be, or you can't predict it. So just take it as it comes. You can't, but when it comes, just make sure you have your stash of ice cream ready for it. So,
Okay. So, how do you balance discipline with empathy?
I will be honest and say I'm learning that still myself, how to understand them, but also still discipline at the same time. It's a like I said, my first year. I'm still learning as I teach. I'm learning. Okay, this one needs this type of like method of teaching. This one needs this. They have different needs, so it's we try to be inclusive, of course, and just I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Okay.
I try to be inclusive, of course, but yes, it is. You have to be obviously. You have to have empathy, because they're kids at the end of the day. Um, but yeah, you just need to know because children they have their tricks. They have tricks up their sleeves. They have ways to like get their way out of things. So you just need to be awake and alert, you know,
Yeah.
because not all of them are sincere, but not all of them are bad either. I promise you, the class clown in the class, whoever you are, wherever you teach, the class clown is probably the sweetest kid in the school or in your class. It's just he needs a different type of attention. They all have their reasons why they are or behave the way they behave.
Yeah. I wish I don't want to say I was a class clown.
You probably were.
I was not the class clown. But I'd like to say that I had a good heart. That not a lot of people saw it. Well, maybe some did. And I do feel that I needed the attention that the right attention in order to get the best out of me. But yeah, I came out alright
Hmm.
because of teachers like you. Oh, okay. So, has your faith influenced how you teach or lead in the classroom?
100%. I yeah, I can't give out too much information. It's difficult. Um, it has. Obviously, I pray every day with my husband, which is you. Before I go into the classroom, pray every day for strength. But also, we start off the day with devotion, which is where they have turns where they can read from my little devotion diaries and pray. So we start off the day like that. But also, there's some concepts that you can teach by including, God in it, like especially natural science, where you can obviously natural science is basically everything God created. Okay, well, plus the science part, but like obviously you can include God there in your lessons, the earth, space, God created all of that. So it's nice to actually be able to freely speak about God in a lesson. So yeah, I definitely speak about and mention Christianity and God in my lessons in the classroom, which is expected of us in that case also. But it's also, even if I didn't need to, I would still do that.
Okay. And how do you stay rooted in your identity when you're constantly pouring into others?
Hmm, I don't know. I do know. Well, I'm thinking. Let me
Yeah,
think. Let me quickly think. Um, Rooted in my identity when I'm constantly pouring.
into
Well, I
others.
don't pour my identity into them.
What do you pour?
What the? No, I'm joking. I don't think I pour hope into them. Ambition, I think. But like, that's why you need to also be able to, even though it's hard, because as much as people think teachers only work 5 days a week and they work until 2 o'clock, that is so far from the truth. I don't even want to get into that. But that's why I wanted to say that you have to be able to separate who you are, because I can't, as much as teaching is my career and my calling, I am more than just a teacher. That's why I introduced myself as a wife and a future mother and an okay, not an influencer, a TikTok creator. um, you have to be able to separate the two and not make it affect your personal life, even though basically the thing is teaching is a emotional job. You connect. You're working with lives every day, and you basically see those children more than the parents do at home. You see
Mm,
them so much more than the parents do. And so you have to be able to separate. It's difficult though to separate their emotions and feelings from your own because you do care about them. So you just have to be able to like once again boundaries.
mm,
Create a line and say, okay, no,
mm,
this is Lauren and this is what they call me, which would be Mrs. M,
mm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, that's powerful. And then, what would you say to a young person considering teaching but feeling unsure?
I would first will ask what is making them feeling unsure. What is making them feel unsure? Because I'm sure there are a lot of obviously rumors and things about teaching that people don't like. So depends on what the reason is that they're feeling unsure, because there are some valid reasons that could make you feel unsure, 100%. But once again, if it's a passion and a calling, I don't think you will feel unsure. Um, I was never unsure. Like I said, wasn't unsure about teaching.
Mm.
I thought about, because I got into digital, what do you call it? Digital making, like those.
Marketing.
Yes, digital marketing. I guess somehow I got into that. But I didn't wanna. But now I still use it like every day, like creating my PowerPoints. I feel like that is still gives that creative side of me in there. But it depends on what the reason is that they're what they are doubting specifically about teaching. But if it's just a general, I'm not sure. I would just say go for it. You don't have to. You can still use a degree elsewhere if it's not for you. But I would still say um, go for it and try it out, because normally once you get there it's much better than what you expected it to be. And if it's really not for you, you can always do another certificate and start over somewhere else, or go teach in a different country. There's so many opportunities to also teach in different countries. So maybe South Africa's education system might not be for you, but maybe South Korea, Dubai.
Hectic.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's one myth about teachers you wish you could break?
That we have it easy and we only work from 7 until 2, and then we go home on the weekends and sleep. Yes, of course we have holidays, but those holidays we still mark. We still set up assessments. I have if I could show you, I have a stack of marking here. I have 60 books currently at home with me. I was off for a week. And what did I do? I marked. I didn't rest really. We do so much outside of the classroom. We have extramurals, we have sports, we have culture. We have different things that keeps us busy in the afternoon. Realistically, how my day goes, I get to work at like 6:30, right? I'm there until 5 o'clock, and not like it's because I have sports
6:30
until
a.m. in the morning.
yes. We leave the house at 6. I get there 6:30. I am there. I work full day. Then on Mondays and Wednesdays, I have extracurriculars until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I get back to my classroom. I quickly mark. I go home at 5. I still have to now at home still mark the stuff we did today and set up stuff for the next day. Yes, we can plan ahead, but realistically, it might be a thing that you do in the beginning of the week or the end of the week or the start of the week, like I said. And then some of us still have outside lives. We are still wives. We have to cook sometimes. We can't always eat takeaways. So it's such a thing. People always just think, teachers have it so easy, and it's like I get it, but it's not really easy just because we have holidays. The holidays doesn't make it easy. I promise you, December holiday, I'm probably gonna sit and plan for the next year. So that's just something that people need to like. We don't just work nice hours and then chill at home. That is the biggest lie. But we chose the career and we're not complaining, but don't like they wouldn't underestimate any other career. But so why they're underestimating teachers?
I guess it makes sense because you are shaping the future of our children,
And
So,
like I said, it's an emotional thing. You're
mm,
connecting, yeah, with these different children. Like I still remember my teachers from primary school, so it has an impact. We're not just doing nothing for 8 hours, or how many?
mm,
How long is school? 6 hours.
I
Six
don't know.
hours. Yeah.
I'm done with school.
But
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
still
I
there.
went to
Yeah.
school to go to school for the rest of my life.
Imagine. All right. Okay. Now, what crown do you believe you wear, and what crown are you still growing into?
When you say crowns, what do you specifically like mean?
Like, in terms of your purpose, or do you wear the crown of shaping future children's, like shaping the future of our children? Do you wear the crown of trying to be the best version of myself? I'm just living to live out my purpose for God.
I think I wear the crown of calling and purpose, like but also just like giving and caring. Like I'm a very, I would say, if I had to toot my own horn, caring, kind-hearted person. Like if I could give KFC boxes to everyone on the street that asks for food, I would literally do that. I would give, like, I like giving. I think you saw the recently the pace the not the pay slip, the slip we got from buying sweets that proves I give above and beyond that I should. So I think I wear those crowns of calling and purpose, and also just being caring and giving, and not sacrificing, but in a way, yeah, I would say that is my crowns. Are my
What
crowns, sorry.
what does the crown that befits you mean to you?
I feel like it's about calling and purpose. Like it sounds to me like the crown that befits you. So the calling that is upon you, the calling that God gave to you, like the crown as in calling or purpose, and that befits you, that's meant for you. So which aligns with God's plan for you. I would say that's what the crown that befits me means to me, like the calling that God has on your life, the purpose that God has for you. Yeah, that's what it means to me.
It's amazing. That's amazing. You are an amazing woman, and I can say that live. Yeah, yeah. So I have one last exercise,
Hmm.
right? In my last episode,
Hmm.
I had a very, very great guest,
Hmm.
an amazing guest, a
Hmm.
successful real estate agent who wrote down 3 questions that he would like to know,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to ask them to you. You can ask them, you can answer them to the best of your ability, right?
Okay.
So this person's question says, what has been the toughest moment you faced in your life and how did you get through it?
The toughest moment in my life. I guess I've had a blessed life because I can't think of anything. God has been protecting me. Toughest. Oh, ugh. I can't. I don't know. It wasn't tough. Okay, I guess I can say like I was working at a place and I was. No, I can't. I can't. Okay, let's just say let me be vague. I feel like unfairly dismissed somewhere, and I literally felt the lowest of lows. I felt like I was misunderstood. I felt betrayed in a way. It felt personal. It didn't feel like a management decision. Um, and I call it unfairly dismissed because there were reasons, but let me not. I can't go into that. And how I got through it is once again having the right support, but also just reminding myself, this is all in God's plan. Maybe I wasn't meant to be there and I was needed somewhere else. um so yeah, it was really a tough time and I really had to reconnect with God and pray. I think that's one of the times I prayed the most in my life, because I was like, does this mean I'm not supposed to be? Is this not my calling? Why is it so unfair? Like I felt it was so unfair. But obviously, as I've grown now, I was like, okay, I did make some errors. I made some mistakes. I could have done this better. But younger Lauren, who was I think 22 at that point, couldn't see that. But it
Mm-hmm.
was really tough going through like being, in my eyes back then, unfairly dismissed. Um, because I felt like I gave not my all, but good amounts of like I was trying my best, and it was just a bunch of bad moments that led up to it. But like I said, I had to really, really ground myself in God and prayer, and just pray, and like that's like I said, I was a prayer warrior that time, and he got me through it and provided me with much more than I could have ever wanted. So
Sure. Powerful. Sure. Prayer warrior. Yeah. This person also asked, what is something that you feel like you need to give up, sacrifice, to get to the next level of your life?
Procrastination and being lazy. Not lazy in the way like lazy. I I um I need a lot of motivation to get to do something like it's a gym. Like I need motivation to do that. Um but I'm also a procrastinator because I work better under stress. But then when I stress, I break down. So that whole thing of it's an unhealthy habit, toxic habit actually that I
Mm.
have of procrastination and being lazy. Not lazy in the way that I'm a couch potato, but like I wait for the last minute because I know that stress will get me to do it fast. But then I panic in that moment, which is not healthy for me, myself, my mental health. It's not good for it. So I think I have to let go of that. Um, and also I have a bit of a shopaholic issue, small nyana, you know, um, that my husband doesn't complaining about. So I need to just save money a bit more,
Invest.
invest better, make better investments. Basically, not every H&M outfit needs to be bought. Apparently.
All right. But you're not giving financial advice.
Hmm?
Just a disclaimer. Okay. Um, the last question. Who is your greatest inspiration and why?
This is gonna sound cliche, and this is now because of how I grew up and hi, but my mommy,
Mm.
my mom, my mom, yeah, that's one. My mom is, eh, you know me, I'm emotional, right? My mom is the toughest woman that I know. Like my mom, I feel like she's a prayer warrior. I feel
Mm.
so she has gone through so much in life, but I've never seen her like just get like down and like defeated. My mom always gets up again. My mom, she's always like, yeah, I don't know. I think my mom, she's a very like caring, kind hearted person. But I also think that she's never like gives up. She doesn't have it's in her to give up. There's been many challenges in her life. I think but she's never like just given up. And it's like she has this faith, and I would call like faith. Is it faith like a mustard seed or
Yeah.
like right that like that? Yeah. Um, she just has that faith in God that it's like she knows that he like God like if I've never seen someone so covered by God's love and my mom. Like she's a strong woman. She's very like capable. She has so many also different talents that she can do. I think I got my creativity maybe from her. But she's been my inspiration. Just the way she treats people with kindness and care and giving. Like she has the softest heart. So yeah, my mom would be my greatest inspiration in this world. Like, yeah.
So that is that's heartwarming. Yeah. That's really touching.
Mm.
So thank you for that. Now you are gonna do the same thing. You're gonna write 3 questions for the next person who's gonna be on this platform, and I will ask them the same questions. So I'm gonna pass you this notebook, and you can write it down, and we will comment from there.